Hello, my name is Hong Yang, and I'm the director for the Master of Engineering in Chemical Engineering Leadership Program and the Alka Chair Professor at the University of Illinois. I and my colleagues would like to use this video to give you some information about this program. Let me introduce Paul Canis, who is the director of the School of Chemical Sciences and the former head of Chemical and Biomolecular Engineering Department. During his tenure as department head, Paul Kenis initiated the development of the first ever master's program in the history of this department. Thank you for joining me. So Paul, how did you come up with the idea for this program? What are the drivers?
Over the past decades, various forms of professional education beyond the bachelor's degree, but short of the PhD, have become popular. Many of these programs are tailored to individuals who want to learn more about specific topics, such as biopharmaceutical science, so topics that are more specific than our traditional science and engineering disciplines. So a question became, what can we do? We knew that a master's in chemical engineering by itself, so technical content only, would be too broad and be of limited value as it only affords the same job opportunities as for those who have a bachelor's of chemical engineering. The opportunity we saw is to blend advanced technical chemical engineering content with professional development content of immediate utility in professional practice. Indeed, several of our alumni indicated the desire to augment their technical skills with aspects of business management and leadership. The second opportunity we identified is that many individuals with a science degree would benefit in their career advancement from acquiring core chemical engineering content, as well as the aforementioned business management and leadership training. While developing this program, we agreed that the program should be a difference maker, so high quality that it should produce alumni that we can be proud of now and later. Indeed, alumni who later on in life recognize how this MEng program made a difference in their professional careers.
How does this program fit into the bigger picture of the chemical engineering discipline?
Several chemical engineering programs have developed master's or MEng programs, but the programs that are most successful or best known are those that have a specific focus, either a specific technical direction or a blend of technical content with professional development. The latter is the model we pursue here at Illinois, and only a few other chemical engineering programs in the country are doing something related.
Thank you, Paul. I would like to introduce our current department head, Chris Rao. So Chris, why should people choose Illinois for the Chemical Engineering Leadership Program?
So Illinois has had a long tradition of excellence in engineering education at both the undergraduate level and graduate level. At least for the 2 decades that I've been a member of this faculty, we've had a top 10 ranked undergraduate education program and a top ranked graduate program. So we've done a fantastic job developing technical expertise in our graduates from our program. But we recognize that there's limitations in that training. That while some of our students or graduates will go on a technical track in their career, others will also pursue hybrid tracks where it'll be both a technical element and a management element. And so what we're trying to do is round out that educational experience by having the technical component, but also partnering with the Kenis College of Business to provide a lot of the expertise in kind of management, marketing and leadership that's kind of a little bit secondary to our primary mission, which is on the technical component. And here we're trying to merge those two elements by bringing expertise from the College of Business and our own department in chemical engineering, so we can produce well-rounded students that are not just capable at doing the technical component, but also prepared for the management aspects of their career.
How does this program fit into the educational mission for the Chemical and Biomolecular Engineering Department?
Well, this new Masters of Engineering program represents a new direction for our department. As I mentioned, we've been focused on technical development, and now we're also trying to develop on leadership development through our partnership with the Kenis College of Business. So this represents a new step or a new evolution in our educational mission, trying to produce more well-rounded students rather than just very technically proficient engineers. We want to produce the next generations of leadership or leaders in the field of chemical engineering.
That's great. What else would you like people to know about this program?
Well, I think what kind of fascinates me most about this program, or excites me most about this program, is it's not just our faculty that developed this Master's of Engineering program. That we reached out to, as I mentioned, the Geese College of Business, but we've also reached out to a lot of our alumni who are already in these leadership positions and asked them, what elements do they think is necessary to achieve the same level of success that they've had in their careers. So this is kind of a hybrid program that it involves our core faculty, it involves faculty from the College of Business, but it also involves a lot of our distinguished alumni who played an instrumental role in developing the curricula for this program.
Thank you, Chris. Now I would like to introduce Jonathan Higdon, who is the chair of the curricular committee for this program. John, tell us a little bit about the curricula for this program, both on the technical side and for business leadership.
Some of my colleagues have discussed what we're trying to accomplish with this program in terms of the leadership skills based on our observations of what will make them most successful in their jobs as engineers working in industry. Because of those goals, we've decided to focus on three main components. We have our engineering core, which I'm going to talk about today. We have our technical leadership, which my colleague Jim Morris will talk about, and we have our business courses. So in the technical core, we look at the critical aspects that most grad students in ChemE might take. There will be the core curriculum is available on our campus webpage. It includes 3 core courses taught by chemical engineering faculty, plus a selection of 2 technical electives, which are from across the campus, could be in chemical engineering or other departments. That forms this technical core, which is the heart of what I want to talk to you today about how we're delivering that core and why we think that's an important aspect for our students.
Thank you, John. How does the program tailor to full-time and part-time students?
At the very outset of our designing of this degree, we tried to look at the market which we thought we would most address, which is least well addressed by other curriculum across the country. And one of the groups that we are going to do is to adjust to full-time students in residence at the UIUC campus. But an important group that we thought is very underrepresented in most programs is people who are working a full-time engineering job. They want to continue working their full-time engineering job, and they want to be able to say, how can I fit this curriculum into that program? And so let me start then with the part-time students first. To address their needs, we really focused on the fact that we wanted to present a lot of the course material on an online basis. Our 3 core courses are going to be pre-recorded videos, which one can watch then at your own pace, complete with a pause button or whatever you need. And that way, when an engineer has a job where he or she is unable to attend class, say for perhaps a week, they can just postpone or watch the video ahead of time. And it can be very much self-paced. And because you can review it at your own pace, it will work very well regardless of what your business schedule is. And we looked at a number of different models and we really decided that was the best. However, the lectures are pre-recorded, but we want to have personal engagement. And so for the part-time students, we will also be offering Zoom meetings, perhaps 2 office hours per week. So after viewing the lectures in what is called a flipped classroom approach, you will absolutely have the opportunity to meet with either the instructor or a teaching assistant in an online office hour on Zoom, which we'll schedule in the evenings away from normal business hours. With that, we think that we really address the needs of the part-time students. And we have put up programs where you might take classes full-time, or you could take perhaps as few as 2 classes each semester and stretch it out over a period of perhaps 4 semesters. Either way, you can adjust to that. For full-time students, we will also be asking the full-time students to watch these pre-recorded lectures. A key difference, however, is if you're in residence here on the UIUC campus, we want you to have the greatest amount of personal interaction you can. Therefore, we will be in parallel offering office hours or discussion classes with a TA in person, so that you say, I'm here in person, I want to get the maximum experience there. For the technical electives we're offering to complete the degree, there we have identified a group of perhaps 10 or 12, 15 electives which you can definitely take online if you're one of these part-time students remotely. But in addition, if you are a full-time student here in residence at UIUC, you will have a vast array of electives that you can attend with in-person lectures and in class. So with the two options I've discussed, we want to make sure if you're a part-time student working full-time, we can accommodate your needs. We're very flexible. But if you're a full-time student in residence here at UIUC, we don't want you to in any way feel that you're getting less of an interaction. You'll absolutely feel that additional in-person contact.
Can a student succeed in the program without a bachelor's degree in chemical engineering? What should they do to fill the gap in their education?
Thank you for asking about students who have not yet had a chance to get a bachelor's degree in chemical engineering. This is something where a typical student who, say, does not have much training in engineering at all will be asked to take up to 3 chemical engineering undergraduate classes, which are currently offered at the UIUC on an in-person basis. Students, however, may, if they live in a large urban environment, find that they could take those classes remotely at a 4-year university if that university offers an undergraduate degree in chemical engineering. So we might work with you to allow you to take those courses at another university in your hometown before beginning our program. If you're an engineer but not a chemical engineer, we might find it might be as little as 1 course that we would ask you to take to fill in that amount of technical expertise. How to merge that with the degree requirements for our MEng degree, that's something where the very flexible nature of the design of the delivery system for our curriculum will help you out a lot. Is that if you need to take more training in mathematics, if you need to go slower in one course, the fact that we have these courses available as pre-recorded videos, you might be able to have a preliminary view of these courses before you even formally start the degree to see how you need to back up your technical information, or you can again take the courses at your own pace. And so the key point of our degree is to adapt it to the needs of our students. And we want to make it most accessible for any student, no matter where he or she is coming from in terms of what they need to be doing.
Now please meet Jim Morris, who is the chair of the Industry Advisory Board for the program. Jim is the former Chief Facilities Engineer for ExxonMobil Upstream, alumnus of the department. He's developing the industry workshop and the capstone or practicum project for the program. How do the industry workshop contribute to training students for leadership in chemical engineering?
Okay, well, I think it's important to understand that the objective of the workshops is to take all the knowledge and skills that the students have learned in the courses that John described and see how you can integrate these skills in a way to solve challenging problems. We've designed this through the workshops and a series of case studies that a student will be able to see how experienced leaders from industry have done this successfully, and then eventually begin to develop their own personal plan on how to apply these skills to their own career. Now, prior to the workshops, we'll study some recent events or case studies to see how these were successful, or in some cases not so successful, and look for how these concepts that are being learned in the coursework can be applied. Then, during the workshop itself, we'll hear additional stories from industry experts and alumni on how they've done this in their own career, and what do they see as keys to success. And during the workshop, people will interact with peers to share insights and perspectives on what everybody's been learning. And finally, and most importantly, at the end of the workshop, each of the students will have a chance to develop a plan for applying these skills to their own career.
Thank you, Jim. What is the unique aspect about the capstone or practicum project? How do you plan in implementing this?
Okay, well, good. I think a very key point to remember is that skills are only valuable if you can apply them in a way that delivers tangible value. So the capstone project is a very unique opportunity for a student to demonstrate that they can do exactly that. So in the capstone, each student will be given a real-world industrial problem to solve. And in the process, each person will develop several key deliverables. These include a detailed scope of work, execution plan, a very clearly defined value proposition, and of course, a final recommendation. Now, we've designed this to have two options for the capstone. First option is a project for a sponsoring company. We will have companies submit projects to us, and the students can select from one of these projects. Or a second option, a project can be done as part of an internship or for your current employer. If you're employed full-time while taking the program, then you may be able to work with your current employer to come up with a project that you can use as your capstone. Most importantly, when you complete the project, you're going to have the satisfaction that you've taken the skills you've learned in the program and you've been able to apply them to a real problem and deliver real value to an organization.
I would like to introduce Ann McKinney, who is our program coordinator. So Ann, what can people do if they have questions about the admission process?
Well, first of all, we have a lot of this information on our website, chbe.illinois.edu/admissions/MENG. And if you don't find the answers that you need there, you can always email me at chbe-meng@illinois.edu. My goal is to help chemical engineers find what they need in this degree and hopefully advance in their career.
Thank you for watching. If you have any question, feel free to contact Ann for any further information.